Welcome to FYI. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wherever you're joining us from today, we trust that you are dry and you are warm wherever you're joining us from. We're coming to you guys live from the national capital city here in Georgetown, Guyana, and it's raining here. It's raining here in the capital, and that's why we're wishing you a dry day and a warm day, because we know those of you who are in North America, perhaps even in Europe, you know, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. You know, is it the weather outside is frightening? Isn't that what the Christmas song says? It's frightening. It's frightening. Right? Did I get it right? The hospitals locally, frightening. If it's not the weather, it's the hospitals outside. But before we get there this morning, folks, how are you all doing today? I hope that you guys are well. On this Thursday, the 26th day of November, in a month's time, is Boxing Day. It's Christmas. Let's start there. Good morning to each and every one of you. Just that you guys can hear us clearly. Shireen says it's raining in Bartica. Where else is it raining this morning? That's a wide front there. Where else is raining? A lovely young lady just stepped into the studio. She is now all smiles. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Denise and Paulette and Tracy and Mark and Audrey. Notice I never said a gentleman stepped into the studio. Never. You know, lady stepped into the studio. We like it like that. Mark. Patricia Sano, good to have you. Jilly G, all the way. Jilly G. Deborah says it's raining in Chicago. That's a broad front. That's a raining in Bartica, raining in Chicago. Maybe we should try the other way. Where isn't it raining? Good morning, Deborah Pearson. Good morning. Whomie said, just don't say Spanish. I'll try. I'll try, Whomie. I try not to say Spanish. Don't say 40. Don't say 40. 39. Beverly Fraser. Dion, Ayana, Bibi Sandyford. You know, remember, don't live like people do, eh? See the name Dion there? Moving on. Don't say Spanish, Whomie says. Don't say Spanish. Ali Danes. Mandy Cummins. Mandy, see me here? Like I short. Like I short. Mandy said, Joseph, morning. And Joseph, morning. Right? And Mandy, you gotta be on Santa naughty list this Christmas. You gotta be on the naughty list. All right, so Jilly G wants to know if we're bright. Jilly G says it's sunshine in the state of sunshining. The sunshine state like a goddess. Y'all don't tell me, like a goddess. Sunshine state. Where is this? Sun. While I ponder on that, right? Right? Miss Harper says it's not raining in the backlist. And you're lucky. The backlist for the win this morning. It's not raining in the backlist, you know, not raining in the backlist. Good to have you on. Is it Lori? Am I gonna Lori Lee or Laura Lee? You all help me. Forgive me if I mispronounce it. Harper. That's why I said Miss Harper. You can't be wrong. You can't go wrong there. Folks, how is your day going? Do let us know. How is your day going? We're following a number of things this morning. A number of things this morning. Number of things. Number of things. Get to that in a second. Get to that in a second. Right? Get to that in a second. Number of things. Right? And you all follow Humi. Humi says hit the thumbs up. I'm happy you said that. Right? We want to see some more reactions. How you all feeling this morning? We got over 400 of you on this live. If we had a public meeting now, right? Now, and 400 people show up. People say, wow, don't things sell off. Right? I know some of you are saying 400 is a little bit people on this live. I'm grateful. You got 400 people around your breakfast table. Right? Just under 200 on Facebook and over 200, just under 300 on YouTube. You gotta be serving up something. Is it toast? Is it black tea? Is it camaraderie? I know some of y'all didn't come here for me. That's why Miss Lady just said morning Joseph and I right here. I know my name change. You used to embarrass me as a youngster. Right? You used to embarrass me as a youngster. You meet one of the elders and you start talking. And then Big Auntie said, like me, you wake up in the same bed. You see what family does? That's a language in the family, You dare not answer back and say, no, I slept in me house. Like me, you wake up in the same bed. Instinctively, you know what Big Auntie meant. You breaks up right away like Matrix. You breaks up right away. Right? Some of y'all tell young people that right now. Some of y'all some of y'all tell young people that right now. Naomi says she woke up singing this morning. Right? Can you keep a secret? I'm thankful for some of you. Like school, you all help to keep us young. I'm thankful for some of you. Right? So I don't know if me and what's her name wake up in the same bed. Natasha want to know when the cash grant sharing. She says she's asking for me or her. It's when the cash grant share, man. We all know y'all long in the back pay since July. I want y'all see the signs the people work y'all. Let's show y'all the signs they work y'all. Hold on. Take a sip of this black tea. Take a sip of this black tea. Folks, truth be told, let me tell you something. We apparently ran out of distilled water this morning. So I'm taking a chance with the pipe water here. It's Russian roulette. You all wish me luck. I just fire a shot. Pipe water. We ran out of distilled water. Yeah. Russian roulette. So if anything happened, you all know the source. Marlon Thomas, good morning. Forbes, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing this morning? So I was telling you, let me show you all the fast one they pull. So they give the back pay since July, retro to January, I think it was. Now, normally, you know, if they bring that, they get the retro in December, you get it more, of course. Right? It's 6 months, lash off you retro. Right? So they give you a retro in July. Y'all say, nice time. We voting back for them buys. But they really rob you. But here's the trick. That money now, that was from, let's say, August to December, is what coming as the cash grant. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Say, look, we give you retro and then we get him a cash grant. You see? We didn't know, we didn't know. Now it's supposed to be the 6 month retro now. August to December is where you get as the cash grant. Or you said I'm waiting for the retro. Huh? You said I'm waiting for the back pay. I mean the back pain. Huh? That's what you said. Let's keep holding on, folks. Let's keep holding. A couple of things we're following. Not plenty, not enough. You know, watching what's coming out of the UN resident ambassador. Is that the designation? I'm trying to remember. Right? Carolyn Rodriguez Burkett, Ambassador Carolyn Rodriguez Burkett, who's in the news this morning. I saw her yesterday. I think it was meeting with the Minister of Amerindian Affairs, the Honorable Sarah Brown. God, I'm forgetting her married title. I'm forgetting the married title. Sarah Brown. You all help me. I'm like a city without a hero this morning. I don't have on my glasses. It's trouble in the dance. Yeah. Sarah Brown. Minister Sarah Brown. The Honorable. I'm in a good mood this morning. The Honorable Minister Sarah Brown. I saw the ambassador with her yesterday. But on a different front, the ambassador in the news this morning is calling for urgent reforms of the UN Security Council to make it more representative and accountable, including limiting its veto power. Limiting the veto power. Pamela says the water affected my eyes. I ain't doubt you. I ain't doubt you. Right? You know? I ain't doubt you. Gotta eat more pumpkin. It's true pumpkin make the eyes bright. So the ambassador wants the UN Security Council more representative, more accountable, including limiting its veto power. Right? I saw in the notes this morning, them saying that she was speaking on behalf of CARICOM. So I wanted to be able to verify that she's speaking on behalf of CARICOM. Right? Naomi says Sarah Brown is not in Facebook videos and so on. She's not doing Facebook videos, so we're not familiar with the name. Right? We bring up past that. You gotta pick up the pace, Sarah. You gotta pick up the pace. And them say we're not familiar. She's not familiar. Right? Sarah, you gotta figure it out. You're on your own. So we're watching that. We're watching that. And this was at the United Nations General Assembly in New York quite recently. Quite recently. You know, we're still on the front where we're talking about this digital ID card system. You know, the launching of the digital ID. Two of the major laws are still inoperable, but the guy is pushing ahead. Pushing ahead. And our argument as APNU is that the data protections, right, the oversight, the privacy risk that are at stake here ought to be looked at. Ought to be looked at. Why didn't they convene the National Assembly? These are things we should be discussing, talking about. We established already the root word there in Parliament means to talk. Parlar or whatever it is, to talk. These are things we ought to be discussing in the interest of the people. But of course, the Parliament is not meeting. You're shirking oversight. The laws are not operable. Right? So you could do whatever you want with the data. Yeah, watch yourselves out there. Watch yourselves out there. Please and thank you. Watch yourselves out there. And then we've already talked about the fact that they're talking about budget preparation. This is where the back pay coming out, the back pain. The back pain. The fact that they already paid the retro. You all remember how the budget used to be. That's what people used to listen for. How much the salary increase gonna buy and so on. Something in there for you. You see, gone were those days. Gone were those days. People listen to the budget, 6 hours of empty talk and suck the teeth. Pelt the teeth, people. Pelt away the teeth in some cases. 6 hours of budget talk of nothing. All that's in it is what is for the boys. What's in it for you? I was telling you yesterday, I've quoted some of the instances from Sabbath News on Monday. Talking about how the cost of living affecting people. People should have given up eating garlic. Chicken too expensive. Sugar gone up. Gas gone up. Shallot. My God. How people living in this country? How people living in this country? So Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh has announced that ministries and agencies have started preparing for Budget 2026. He said it's guided by the PPP manifesto. Things are tough enough. Guided by the PPP manifesto. And they said they plan to present this budget early next year. Early. I don't know when it's early. Because for me, early is January 1. The budget is usually presented between mid-January, the third week in January, right? February. So early is when? Gotta be 1st of January. Right? 1st of January. Gotta be. And while we're on that, a question you'll see me raise this morning on my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, is what happened to the census? What happened to the census? Huh? What happened to the census? Marvin Lucky says some of us, especially me, I come here for you. I hope it's come in terms of like you come to see the show, like I come for you for attack, like Naomi. Don't be like Naomi. I come for you. Right? Like if you're responding to me saying, come for me. I come for you. Don't be like Naomi. Be peace loving. But that being said, the census, Evrel, we're taking this thing too light. Mark, we're taking this thing too light. Right? Eva Iron, we're taking this thing too light. Marvin, we're taking it too light. This issue of the census, the 2022 census, folks, $2 billion we invested in this census. $2 billion with a capital bill. You see, we invested in this census. What have we to show for it? That incensed me personally. I was reading Sabbath News, or was it Big Uncle Gordon? I think it might have been Big Uncle Gordon, news source. Another good place for valid, credible information. So there I am, listening to Big Uncle Gordon. And he was giving an update what Ashley Singh said recently. And for me, it's the cavalier attitude. The cavalier attitude. I love that word, cavalier. Right? Cavalier. The root word in there is Calvary. And when you follow the history of the word, the soldiers riding on the horses and so on, Calvary. Must check it out. It's a beautiful word. And how the word has developed. Right? Cavalier now means like carefree and, flippant and all of these things conveyed in it. Very, very cavalier in his response. It's like, it's just $2 billion. You know the kind of way. Somebody blessed me with this cup. Beautiful white cup. I don't know why I like it. Right? But it's Duncan. So I managed to chip the edge here. Somehow, some way. But I love it so much. Sorry. Very cavalier. The response. Mandy said we used to look in the budget to see what the pension story said. So, Dr. Ashley Singh, in response to this question about the Bureau of Statistics and what they're doing with the results of the 2022 census, it's 3 years later, It's 3 years later. Man, we're taking this thing light, man. $2 billion later, we're taking this thing light. No, it is so egregious that the minister says he got to get an update. Now, if you're a minister worth your salt, and this matter is important to you, I would think you'd be getting an update, maybe monthly, from the head of the Bureau of Statistics. Monthly. He said, I got to seek an update, man. I got to seek an update. He said he doesn't know why the 2022 population and housing census has not been released. But he's going to consult with the chief statistician of the Bureau of Standards. Right? And he insists that technical diligence is to be blamed, that they're checking the numbers, they're being so meticulous. But get this, in being meticulous, they start another census-like endeavor. This is they're doing my phrasing of it might be wrong, an economic survey. The same people who've been diligent with the numbers, they're going looking for other numbers now. They're now doing an economic survey. But we know what's happening here. We know what's happening here, right? Recently, I saw in Berbice a Venezuelan pastor. You all saw that? I'm sorry we don't have that queued up. He said, Mr. President, he was talking to Irfan Ali, who was passing by. He said, thank you for allowing us in your country. He says, 100,000 of us here. Irfan was stunned. Irfan didn't know where to get the votes in the last election. He said 100,000. He didn't correct him. He did not correct him. Leon Blair, he said 100,000. That's part of what I don't want to show us. When you see some of the demographic shifts. Now when you see Berbice, you see Berbice only got 40,000. Then they got to count for how they get 60,000 votes out of Berbice. You see? Right? If you see by ethnicity, 60,000 people left the country in 2023 and 2024. Right? You gotta wonder how some of their numbers, right? How some of their numbers in the way the numbers in. This census or a census has a lot of implications. A census has a lot of implications on national planning. Right? On national planning. It's not just something for willy-nilly. We ain't doing a census because you just want to do a census. But the implications, right, go far beyond elections. The government currently, as I said to you, Dr. Ashley Singh says, they are formulating the national budget. 2026, the national budget, they can be allocating billions to housing, health, education, infrastructure, drainage, youth programs, hinterland development, without knowing how many people live in the country and where in the country are people living. So you see the implications it has for development, for planning, right? How can you budget a credible budget when its foundational numbers come from the 2012 census? You want a modern economy, a modern Guyana, by using figures from 2012. And since then, we got 100,000 Venezuelans who are living with us. Huh? So you're relying on those numbers from 2012, and the rest is guess. It's guesswork. It's not an estimate, it's a guesstimate. How can planners meaningfully address migration, right? Migration surges, urban expansion, overcrowded schools, or shifting labor force needs when the baseline data absent? How? And that is part of my argumentation in my letter to the editor today. I wanted to get the phrasing right for you. That is part of my argumentation. So a census of this nature has implications for your economic planning. So if we don't have the results, this is the public. Government know when the census. Don't fool yourself. Let us call it as it is. Right? My mother is a very plain-spoken lady. That's what she says all the time. Call the thing what it is, man. Don't go wrong, come around. Call it what it is. They know what the numbers are. They know what the numbers are. It's you don't know. It's I don't know. So Ashley is talking about budget 2026, and yet we don't know the numbers from the 2022 census. If you wait 2 more months, those numbers might become null and void because it's so long we waited. The pastor said we got 100,000. I know Ephraim was taken aback because he can't deny it. It's only so long. Every place you turn, you all know we've been on the ground with outreaches, with APNU, PNCR. Every community, near and far, you go in. Somewhere I was driving yesterday, some back street. And I see so many people out in the road. I said, there's only if you say welcome to Venezuela sign. So you can't tell us. You remember the other day they telling us it's 25 Venezuelans in Region 4. Huh? 25 in a building at any one time. 25 people in Venezuelans in Region 4. You're making me something now. The point I'm making is this census is very important. Very, very, very important. Very important. And we got to demand more. We got to demand more. And that's what I'm saying in this letter to the editor. Check it out on my Facebook profile when you get a chance. Check it out on my Facebook profile. Check it out on my Facebook profile when you get a chance. It's a very serious matter. And it was a flippancy for me. I gotta get an update. I gotta get an update. If you are an economist, and we know Dr. Ashley is not an economist. He's an accountant moonlighting as an economist. You know, nothing wrong with that. You gotta do, you gotta do. You know, Peter bread and make a food. Eat the food and make a bread. He gotta do, he gotta do. But any Minister of Finance, I ain't talking about minister within and at least 1 hour you call the title. If a Minister of Finance, a substantive Minister of Finance, like Winston Jordan was, what is salt? Those numbers would be informing how you move forward. It's blindfolded budget. It's last year plus 10%. Right? Rather, earlier this year. Seems so long ago. Right? It's this year plus 10% or 20%. Must see, another trillion added to it. How are we going to know where this money going? And if it's actually improving the lives of our Guyanese brothers and sisters. But we know by now it is not. When you look at some of what is happening in the news, you understand. My God. If you watch our show often, you know, Marvin Z, I come for you. I talk about my grandfather. Of blessed memories. Of blessed memory. Right? T.R. Johnson. That grandfather. He used to tell us, every time he go to Georgetown Hospital, even if he's in a chair and he sleep away, he get up, feel his fingers, his toes, his hand, make sure everything is there. I used to laugh every time. I found it fascinating because in my young mind's eye, you know, this feels like a butcher shop. You gotta be careful. You could be walking through a door and your head missing, you see? Right. I used to conjure this imagery up in my head. You know? One parent's worst nightmare came through recently with a blunder of immense proportion. Right? Of immense proportion. This mother of 17-month-old Peter Martin recounts the toddler's medical history. Now, for any family, listen, you all know we've been trying for the girl for a little while now. All kinds of things. You know? All kinds of things. Surrogates, what have you. Right? But pregnancy, women, my heart goes out to you. Pregnancy is touch and go. Touch and go. Touch and go. Touch and go. Our last son, right? Our last son, tell a story. My big son, I remember as a child, he would get roasting fever. And for a long time, I was a single parent, behaving myself, you know, kind of struggle, it's just me and him. And I remember the first time this thing happened, I was confused as a parent, young parent, the child turning 18. I could be talking about 12 years ago. You know, I was confused. And by the time I get him the necessary help in the process, the child's whole body starts shutting down and he starts to convulse. Jesus have mercy. That happened to you as a child, as an adult. I confused. I remember a night I took my son to Georgetown Hospital. Right? And you know now, they're triaging people. There's who foot missing, who head bust way, this, that, you come to. And I'm trying to explain to them. You sit down there. Hold on, you sit down there. You sit down there, right? Later on, I gonna learn. Soon as that happens, get him some cool water. Bathing in some cool water, try to get the temperature down, and then get him to the hospital ASAP. You sit down there. I remember sitting down in that triage area, right? 14 years ago, Georgetown Public Hospital, right? And I vow a vow to myself. I will never again put any of my kids at this risk. At this risk. I don't care how nice the building nice. If people got to sit down 4 or 5 hours to wait for health care, make it make sense. How transformative is the healthcare system? If you got a nice building and people still dying like dogs, make it make sense. So when the little one decides he can arrive now, he can come through, so as the mother said, "Come on." I remember I was at work the day when the mother sent me the text, and we were so happy. So right now, I start putting aside something, because in my mind, I go in private. You try that. No, I ain't going private because I want thing like a big wig. You going private here and they try to treat you anyhow. You going private here and they're trying to treat you anyhow. Right? I purpose in my heart. We were, what's the guy's name again? That was recommended as the gynecologist at Mercy. And through the clinics there, we decided that we're gonna have the delivery at Mercy. What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? A wonderful gynecologist. He was always so gracious to us, right? And then we do Dr. Mutu is our son's pediatrician. Had a fantastic time. We have a great time with Dr. Mutu. What is the guy's name from? Y'all help me out. Mercy Hospital. Fantastic gynecologist too. Fantastic gynecologist. But I'm making the point. God of mercy. I feel it. I've been there with this mother's that, and I spend the night. And that's why I give you the backstory there. So when I see these issues, it hurt me. It hurt me. Hear I telling you? It hurt me. So I tell you, my wife and I, we went to Mercy. And I watching the days. I know an extra day he can put me in the red. But I want the health care. I rather put me in the red and we alive than you're spending the money on funeral. Dr. Pedro, thank you very much. I see somebody saying Dr. Jabor. I hear he's a fantastic doctor too. Dr. Pedro was the gynecologist. Dr. Pedro was fantastic. had a great time. Dr. Pedro. Dr. Pedro was so chatty. My wife was convinced he only took the case because of me. He would chat me up. He would chat me up. Mr. Duncan, I see what you're doing out there. This and that. And we had a great time with Dr. Pedro. But I hear Dr. Jabor is a fantastic doctor as well. But Dr. Pedro, and then we were already, I can't remember. I sat on the Ministry of Housing board, where Dr. Mutu was also a board member. But Dr. Mutu, that wasn't the reason why we started going to Dr. Mutu. Dr. Mutu was highly recommended by a number of people. And so naturally, we gravitated to Dr. Mutu. But folks, I wish every citizen in this country don't just have access to nice buildings, but to good, proper health care. That's the point I want to make. Right? We didn't go because we're trying to live like the Joneses. We went because I want this girl to be alive at the end of the process. That's why we went. I want Shindy baby to live. And it's going to cost me something. It's going to cost us something. But you know what? We had the time. And we use the time to the advantage. Since day one, I said, all right, put this little thing aside, sir. Put this aside, sir. Put this aside, sir. You understand me? And that's how we got through that in one piece. You know? And that's why when the boy giving me problems, I say, I literally see this boy come in this world. I stood up there in the birthing room of Mercy Hospital and watch this boy head coming through. I say, hey, don't wreck up the whole thing. Come on now. Baby self. Literally saw him come to the world. Now you want to run the stocks. No, very precocious, chatty fellow. This mother said they followed the child's medical history. Right? They thought he had some kidney problems, but then they found out through testing and so on. You know, both kidneys functioning. Both kidneys functioning. And then things took a turn. They later found out that one of the kidneys not responding. Right? And so they agreed for an operation to be done to remove one of the kidneys. Right? To remove one of the kidneys. And during the surgery that should have been to remove one of the kidneys, they realized both kidneys were taken out. Even though they were told one of the kidneys was good. I'm recounting this story how it's being put over here in the news. And so I feel it for this family who are asking for justice. You know, what's happening in this country? That's what I want to know. Asking for justice. Justice. As they're claiming that one of the kidneys was wrongfully removed. I feel it for this mother. Shania Allen. She hails from Mahaika. You know? And what they're calling a surgery mishap. Shania again alleging that doctors were supposed to remove one malfunctioning kidney, but wrongfully removed both. I mean, some of you here who are in the West, right? You're in North America, you're in the health profession, you must be wondering, this is a normal day here, partly. It's a normal day here. I see somebody said they're selling kidneys. They're selling organs. They're selling organs. How do you wrongfully? Could you live without both kidneys? How are you going to remove one kidney and you remove two? I remember as a student of law when we did medical negligence as a subject. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm not a practicing lawyer. Right? I did law when finished law in 2014. It's a little while now. See, I forget. But I remember it says that there is some amount of leeway, right? That is given when doctors are operating. You know, you might be operating and you left a little piece of cotton, right? A negligible, a little piece of cotton. Right? But a doctor worth his salt, you don't expect it to left a scissors in somebody. give them the wrong medication on top of the bargain. I'm recalling one of those cases that I studied. You give them the wrong medication, and then you cut off the one hand. You see, how you going to remove one kidney and take out two? And you say one side good. These are the allegations that are being made. Right? And young baby, DeAndre, 18 months old, the mother said, this young mother, Shania Allen, says that DeAndre endured months of complications and dialysis before his death. Right? Both of the kidneys. How do you rationalize that? But I want to draw something else to your attention this morning. As we talk about this young mother, Shania Allen, and we talk about DeAndre Pashad, this 17-month-old infant, and what is alleged to have happened to them at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. We live in a society where this isn't just a flash in the pan, an anomaly, because things go so right often. As a legislator, one of the hats I wear, but more so as a citizen in the oil-producing republic, I am concerned by what is happening with our young people. And I would say from under 20. Under 20. We spoke a couple mornings ago with a young lady who had a horrific experience at Diamond Regional that they boast is one of the most cutting-edge institutions now in the Caribbean. That's what them boys saying now. Not just Guyana. I am concerned. DeAndre Pashad, 17 months old. Young mother, perhaps scarred for life, wrongfully removed. Go to somebody's kidney. Right? So across this spectrum, not just medical issues like this, I'm very concerned. Because as I was looking at this issue here this morning, my mind went back to Sudish Joel Singh, 15 years old. He was fatally chopped to death at Stouffville a couple of mornings ago. Right? October 3rd. 15 years old. Right? You see, by the time I meet 65, a whole generation wipe out. Right? We can skip a generation. 15 years old. Sudish Joel Singh. Some of y'all would say this, you got some social implication. But some of y'all, people of faith, say, you got some spiritual thing happening here. Chopped to death. October 3rd. Right. October 3rd. October 12th. Right. Azira Zoe Prasad. Azira Zoe Prasad. The minute the parents welcome Azira into the world, October 12th, this year. Where? The Diamond Regional Hospital. The baby died shortly after. The baby's mother, Wendy Wharton, claimed the hospital staff mismanaged her high-risk delivery pregnancy. Azira Zoe Prasad. Same health sector. Diamond Regional, Georgetown Hospital. Azira's mom, again, is alleging the hospital mismanaged her high-risk pregnancy. This is Wendy Wharton Mismanaged. Right? You all know the sick people we got in this society. We can't leave out Syria born in that explosion. People want to make a statement. They got problems with somebody. They don't care who they hurt. Terrorists. Porous borders. We're asleep at the wheel of state. While men slept, the enemy crept in. Maimed relatives. Took the life of young Syria born. 6 years old. 6 years old. She just went to buy some KFC. She just went to buy some KFC. Family didn't know. She was seeing the moonlight for the last time. 6 years old. Right? Navindra Mahez, struck down and killed on the East Coast. It's alleged he was on the pedestrian crossing. Right? When he was struck down and killed, 15 years old. All that's in the past 2 months, you know. This is October 30th. When Navindra Mahez was killed. You'll understand what's happening in this place? You understand what's happening in this place? My God. Today is what, Wednesday? Friday night prayer service. You better enter in. Navindra Mahez, 15 years old. I remember his mother bawling for justice. Will it come? Will it come? Another newborn. Mother name given as Latoya Griffith. Died during child's birth at the New Amsterdam Hospital, November 20th. Public again. November 20th. The Georgetown Public Hospital. At the New Amsterdam Hospital. During childbirth. Right? During childbirth. Latoya Griffith. Given as a mother. We've been told of induced labor and all manner of things, you know. The mother was supposed to get a C-section, right? And they decided to induce labor. And my God. Samish Singh, 12 years old. He was found on November 21st on the Golden Fleece Beach in Essequibo. We're told he had contact with child care, right? Contact with child welfare. That the state knew that this 12-year-old was in a troubled family. Did almost nothing. Samish Singh body was found on the foreshore at Golden Fleece. 12 years old. Y'all tell me something wrong with this country? You got a torture we hate. And look how people dying. Look how people dying. Right? Last week, Jodia Celine, 16 years old, died in a minibus accident coming from a athletics event and the quarantine. The bus driver, also a teacher, succumbed. Right? Celine being a student, the teacher driving the bus, returning with the kids, succumbed later on. There's no madness in this country. There's no madness. Huh? Levon Anthony Collins, he's 9 years old. He succumbed on November 22nd at the New Amsterdam Hospital, 10 days after being beaten by a teenage relative. We told this 15-year-old threw a chair in Levon Anthony Collins' chest. Right? Yeah. All of that. When I saw this case, instinctively my mind went back. These are issues we deal with and that's only what a 4 week span. That's just a 4 week span. That's just a 4 week span. You know, something is horribly wrong. Maybe it's more spiritual than natural. Maybe that's what it is. More spiritual. You know? Let's leave it there, folks. I wanted to bring that to your attention and connect some of the other dots. And hey, we got a problem here. Houston, we got a problem. You know? And these are things you can't banter your way out of, Right? That's why we need a proper functioning healthcare system. Some of it, a percentage of it may be unpreventable. You can't catch everything. But by God, we got to do all that we can. You know, we got to do all that we can. One gets the impression that the healthcare system in this country is not operating up to par. Nice buildings, is nice time inside. You know that. You know that. Let us leave it there, good folks. We're going to see you guys on the other side of the day. Mandy, Avril, Eva, Andrew, Morna, Stoby. We'll have all of you on the live this morning. Great to see you folks on the live. Vesta, we see you there as well. And all the other beautiful folks who are joining us this morning. That's going to do it for us at this end. A lot happening, folks. Plenty in it enough. Plenty in it enough. Thanks for joining us. There's where we leave it. Share the live before you go. Please and thank you. Smash that emoji button for us. Pooran and Avril, Marlon, Patricia, Deborah, Rosie Rose. Thanks for joining us this morning. That's our time, and that's our broadcast. We're going to see you guys on the other side of the day. Take care.